You know, what happened in England was that I realized that in life you could try and please people, right? You could try and care what people think. And I'm realizing the less you care about what people think, the further in life you go. That's why I carry a suitcase. I just don't care anymore. I carry a little suitcase. Anyways, let's grab some books here.
It's a full suitcase. You can see that.
I have some books here to talk about briefly. This is called Peak, okay? I have 2 copies as you can see. And this book talks about how to practice, okay? So we've talked about the French a little bit today. We've talked about great mathematicians, but they knew how to practice. So this book is available for free. If you want to read it, it's right here for you. There's also this book called Journey Through Genius. This book tells the story of some of the greatest minds the world has ever known. These are the names of a few of them, just so you know. Their names are Euclid. You guys heard me talk about Euclid today? This is Euclid's book right here. This is the oldest geometry textbook ever written. It's in Greek and English. I encourage my students who have free time to read that, okay? I will.
Already did.
Very good, very good. Okay, very good. So this is right here, Euclid's book. So this book is the book that inspired Mr. Amos Tarfa to get into math history as much as he did, or as much as I've done. And why did this book inspire me? Because it tells the story of Isaac Newton. And it tells us the fact that Newton was an ordinary person. Okay, let's talk about a few more names here. We have Euclid. We have a guy called Archimedes. Anybody know Archimedes?
I've heard of
Archimedes is a big deal. Archimedes is a big deal. And then there's a guy called Heron, Cardano, Isaac Newton, Bernoulli, my guy Leonard Euler, and then we have other people discuss, different people there. There is a whole book on a guy named Fermat. Remember today we talked about Fermat, Pierre de Fermat? There's a whole book on Fermat, and I actually was just holding it right here. It's called Fermat's Enigma, and this whole book is about what we talked about today, right? There's a whole book on the topic of zero. Do you know that zero is a big deal? There's a whole book on it because zero is very important. There's also a whole book on pi. So I have all these books if you guys want to read them. But let's end our time with something non-mathematical, which is Western civilization. Western civilization is a club test. It is Western Civilizations 1 and 2. I recommend this course. Now, if you don't want to be a history major, you don't have to take this course for both of them. But I would say everybody on the planet needs to take at least one. Why? Because if you think about life in America today and so on and so forth, first of all, where did America get this from? What country?
France.
France, right? Isn't it interesting how we are pretty good friends, right, with the French? There's also a tower in France, which you guys will be talking about today, that most people, when they go to France, want to go to the Eiffel Tower, right? Very good. So the French are not just known for math and science, they're also known for other fields. I mean, the arts, baking, cooking, right? They have some great food. When I went to Paris, I had a layover. My mind was fixed. I'm gonna eat food here. Like no matter what, I have to eat food in Paris, and I did in the airport. Now some people will argue that I've never been to France, but you know, the rule says you need to touch the ground in that country. Is that right? Is that what it says in the rule book? Yeah, you're right. So I haven't been to France. I've been to the Paris airport. But someday I'm gonna go to France, I'm gonna go to the Eiffel Tower, I'm gonna eat more French food, which I hear is amazing.
You're gonna eat some French food on that.
I'm gonna eat some French food. That sounds like for very rich people, but sure, I'm gonna eat some French food. One more random fact, and I'll land my plane. Do you know who the #1 basketball player picked this year was?
From France.
He was from France, and he's predicted to be the new LeBron James of his era. This guy is a very good player. His name is Victor Wembanyama, something like that. Yeah, he's 7'1", and he has the agility of like a point guard because he's very thin, right? So he has very good agility, and I'm happy for him. So anyways, we've talked a lot about France. They've this French week, so we're talking a lot about their improvements. So let me see one more arena. The French have had an influence in medicine. They've given us a lot in medicine as well. So Western civilizations, when you look at a course like Western civilizations, you're learning a lot about the influence of places such as Germany, England, France, Scotland. Those are the places that are very influential when you talk about world history. The other place, of course, is Switzerland, which is one of my favorite places in the world that I've never been to. But Switzerland has Geneva, which is a very big part of Western civilization. So here's my encouragement to you today. I will send out a video link this week. Watch it when you have time for fun, and it will talk more about some of the people I talked about. But please, high schoolers, middle schoolers, please plan to take Western civilizations. It's a great course, and that's what we'll do with that. Okay, so this afternoon, you're going to be with Mrs. Owen, Mr. Elias, Mrs. Hoagland will help us out a little bit too. You guys are going to do